This is the end, beautiful friend.
Hello there, you wonderful people of this little blue and green ball just floating around the sun. Thank you once again for tuning in. Your support and motivation have been, invaluable since I started this channel, and I thank you, ever so much for that. Actually, this time I really hope I'm speaking to the void here because, when you speak to the void, you speak from the heart and you tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Right? But when you know others are listening or will listen to what you have to say, you might change the tone, the register, hell, you might even sometimes change that which you were going to say, but now you're saying something in a different way, or you might leave bits out because of the power that, worrying about what other people think of you has on certain individuals, and certainly has in the past had on me. But I really just don't care anymore. Anyway, the main person responsible for me doing this video is one of my subscribers, Terran Gaming, for whom I have the utmost respect, and who has also been a source of support and real motivation for recording and streaming. Perhaps even more so than anyone else. At least for the past 2 months, maybe more than that. Sorry, Terran, if I got the timings wrong there. But I'm mainly doing this video still without a bloody webcam, I know, for which I apologize, but because I want to address why I haven't recorded or streamed for the past 2 weeks. If you ever read Dante's Divine Comedy, or at least watched David Fincher's film Seven, you know about the 7 deadly sins with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, you'll be familiar with the quote, long is the way and hard that out of hell leads up to light. And this pretty much sums up the past 2 years of my 32-year-old life. My father died of a heart attack at age 66, several months after I quit working and decided to take care of him full time. And, my mother took her own life 11 months later with an overdose of benzodiazepines and antipsychotics at age 55. And for me at the time, this was, as T.S. Eliot says, the way the world ended. Not with a bang, but a whimper. That is the way my meaning of life ended. My sense of being, of existing. All of that just rocket launched out the window, seemingly never to return. For, what is the meaning of life? When you're going through a period of major depression, there are moments where your mind is clear, lucid, perhaps even more so than when you're not suffering from depression. And sometimes you realize that life, not just your life, but or everyone's life, but all life really has no meaning. It has meaning only in our minds. That is to say, it is a human construct. Our understanding of the meaning of our lives exists only in our heads. It's part of our, conception of reality itself. If you take a moment to pause and consider, you'll notice that outside of humanity, there is nothing in this universe, that we know of at least, that has the same conception of meaning of life as we do. Things, simply are. They exist, and then they stop existing. End of story. Okay? And so my meaning of life ended at that point. It ended because I lived to make my parents, the best parents any child could have hoped for, proud. I had, excellent undergraduate and postgraduate scores, both in Lisbon at the University of Cambridge, which was basically in literature, language, culture, philosophy courses. I was a journalist in London for 5 years, and during the tail end of this period, I was, really at my peak, working right in the financial center of London, which is Canary Wharf. Basically, if you go to London, it's a little island where all the big-ass, tall-ass, slick-ass buildings are. and then poof, you know, all that just stopped existing. As I mentioned before, your first reaction is end of story. End of their story, ergo end of my story. What was that, what does that always grumpy and complaining wizard say in Tolkien's The Two Towers? But it was not the end. I felt life in me again. Right? At first sounds ridiculous if you're in depression, but you know, posting videos on YouTube really helped me recover. I'm talking giant steps here. I mean, making videos that might please or help other players, you know, that's awesome. That's why I record and stream. This is not some exercise in self-masturbation. I'm really trying to, like, do things that might be appreciated by other people, and mostly help other people when they're playing the game that I'm playing. But I needed at some point something else, you know, a bit more sense of purpose. And remember, I said life really has no meaning except in our minds. But it's important that we have a sense of meaning and purpose because, you know, we have to. Otherwise, you know, you're just gonna blow our brains out, mass scale. So I needed a bit more sense of purpose, and you know, almost like an epiphany, albeit, you know, that albeit a momentary revelation had been growing in my subconscious for a long time. I wanted to reboot my life, to plant a new seed, and you know, see it grow, maybe even to a certain extent, and even though I am an atheist, to make my parents proud. So I decided to take a second university degree and master's degree in clinical psychology, in the hopes that one day I may help people struggling with something that is still very stigmatized in my country, which is Portugal. So if you look at Europe as a body, the ass is Portugal. And what is really stigmatized in my country is drug abuse and addiction. So that, I hope, will bring me the real sense of purpose that I need, which is helping others cope with, you know, some of them really, you know, very traumatic life experiences, because it's not that all of a sudden you just start snorting cocaine or shooting up heroin. Something happens in your life that pushes you over the edge, you know. So I started the course about 5 weeks ago, and in less than 4 weeks I had an article published on the university website, so that's encouraging. But I won't abandon YouTube. That really is the crux of what I want to convey in this video. I might be absent for another month or so, but come Valhalla and Cyberpunk, you can bet your ass I'll be back here. So I hope all of you guys are doing well. I thank you again for your support, and I hope that you won't feel like the channel is completely abandoned, because it is not. I also hope that you haven't watched this video, because pouring your subjectivity, you know, just pulling it out of you like Alien in 1970, Ridley Scott's 1979 film, is, you know, is difficult. In the meantime, if you're not looking forward to AC Valhalla, if you're looking forward to AC Valhalla, I mean, I suggest you play AC Origins again, like in ultra settings and with HDR, real 4K fucking beauty. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's the Ubisoft team that's working on Valhalla, not the Odyssey team, which will have a particular impact on the combat system, I think. Anyway, peace and love to all, and I seriously hope you didn't watch this video. Frack out.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend. The end. It hurts to set you free, but you'll never follow me. The end of laughter and soft light. The end of nights we try to die. This is the end.